A land of endless savannas, vibrant cultures, and the iconic Mount Kilimanjaro rising above the clouds. This is where nature thrives in harmony and the hum of bees blends with the pulse of the wild. Tanzania, a land where adventure roams free and nature tells ancient stories. From the Serengeti's endless migrations to Zanzibar's pristine shores, from its lush landscapes to golden fields of honey, Tanzania's heart beats with stories waiting to be told. This is a land of wonder and untamed beauty. Today, we dive into one of these stories with our special guest, Mr. Goodluck Kapinga, a dedicated beekeeper who reveals the magic and challenges of beekeeping in this beautiful land.
Hello, everyone. I'm Goodluck Kapinga from Tanzania. So, Tanzania is a country which is found in East Africa. So, we are blessed to have enough forest. We have a lot of national parks. We are also blessed to have a mountain Kilimanjaro, which is very, very famous in the world. So, Tanzanian people are very humble people. They give a lot of tourists a good hospitality because that's how we have been raised since we were from our childhood. So all I can say, Tanzania is a safe place for anyone to visit, anyone to come to invest. So I'm proud to be a Tanzanian.
What is the currency of Tanzania?
Yeah, our currency is called Tanzanian shillings.
What is the exchange rate for US dollar?
Exchange rate one USD is equivalent to about 2,700 Tanzanian shillings. Yeah, dollars keep on fluctuating right now. Yes. Yes. Actually, I'm in Dodoma. Yeah, Dodoma is the capital city of Tanzania. Yeah, from Dodoma to Mountain Kilimanjaro, it's about 450 kilometers. So it's just a 1 day journey. Yeah.
How is the weather over there in your country?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, about 8% of our country right now they're experiencing a summer, but we have some region where right now they're experiencing a heavy rainfall. So we have different season within a country, but about 8% we're in summer season. So it's very hot. It's very, very hot in a lot of.
We know Africa is a hot country.
Yeah, Africa at all is a very hot country. Yeah.
Hot continent, sorry.
Yeah. Continent, yes, you're right.
Yeah. See, I'm enthusiastic about the history of Africa. So Tanzania is small country in this entire continent. How was this country like 50 years ago? And then how was it today?
Yeah. Actually, there is huge number of improvements, starting in infrastructure. Or when I was talking of infrastructure, I mean roads, building, but also we have improved in a private sector. Because by the time we got independence, running a private sector here was a nightmare. Police were not good at that time, but recently I can say it's a nice place where you can run your company, you can collaborate with the government, you can invest in any project. So I can say there is big improvement compared to what we came from. And we are still improving day to day. We're changing the policy. We are, it's not good, it's not bad to copy from those who are doing good. So we are also copying from other countries which are doing good in certain areas. Yes.
I also like Africa. I want to visit this Kalahari area, Botswana region, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it will be a great experience. Yeah, very sure. But also you need to come to Tanzania also, because we have Serengeti, we have Mount Kilimanjaro, we have a lot of places where we can take you. Do you know even the scars of the first human being was discovered here in Tanzania? We have a place where we can show you the evidence. So we have a lot of things that we can show you. It will be just for pleasure, for learning. So you will enjoy your stay here in Tanzania.
Achilles
Yeah.
is there, so I will visit someday. So now, coming to the main point of this discussion, we never heard about honey in Africa. So
Okay.
before jumping into honey part, so first please share a bit about your journey, how you started this career into beekeeping, and what inspired you to create Dream Bees Africa.
Okay. Okay. I will answer your question in two perspectives. First, in national wise, where is beekeeping coming from, how it has been evolved up to now. But secondly, I will based on myself, how I started this business. So starting in national wise, beekeeping, it has been here over a period of time. I can say from 18th century. Our grandfather, grand have been doing beekeeping since there. But it keep evolving, until 1977, where it was officially registered under Agricultural Ministry in 1977. So since 1977, the government has tried to improve the beekeeping sector, because at that time we were doing it everything in traditional. Starting our beehives were not scientific or good. Everything, our ways of doing beekeeping, the ways they were doing beekeeping were not scientific. So government tried to do training to those farmers beekeepers about how they can evolve, about how they can start in practice a modern beekeeping. Because since back then beekeeping here, it's a big opportunity. Once you have honey, it means you have money. Honey is money. There's no way that you can not get a customer for your honey. So government tried to teach those people that this is a big opportunity. So you have to find a way on how you can improve your quality, so that once your honey goes to the market, you will sell your honey in a good price. So it's a continuing journey since 1977 up to now. I can say a lot of beekeepers right now, they are moving from traditional to modern beekeeping. So we are still improving, but we are in a good place where we can annually produce over 40,000 tons of honey. And bear in mind that Tanzania is the second largest producer of honey in Africa. So we are still improving day to day. So that was about nationwide. So coming to me, I always like honey since my childhood. I like honey. When you give me sugar and honey, I would always move to honey. That was my childhood. So in 2019, I was thinking on a business which I can start and making some money. At that time, I was only thinking about making some money. So I find I'm in Dodoma. In Dodoma here, I don't like the quality of honey that these people are buying from the suppliers. So I have to chip in and bringing a good quality of honey to those people who are selling local retailers, we call retail sellers. So that's how I chip in. So on my chipping in, I found out that no, this one is not. It's not supposed to be just about me purchasing honey from village. processing and going to sell to other businessman. I have to go deeper than this because I've discovered that a lot of beekeepers, they're still facing some challenge. They don't have, I can say, modern tools for harvesting their honey. So you find that the honey, once it in the beehives, it has good quality. But during harvesting, because those beekeepers does not have good tools for harvesting, they destroy the quality of the honey. So that's where I got the idea that I think I should go more deeper. I should focus first on these beekeepers because that's where the value chain of beekeeping starts. So once we support more beekeepers, the whole value chain will be improved. So from there, I add a service of performing a free training to beekeepers about how they can practice modern beekeeping. After doing several training, I found out that now the demand for modern beekeeping equipment, such as modern beehives or bee smoker, bee suit, is high. So I have to sell beehives and all other modern beekeeping to them. So I had another service of selling modern beekeeping equipment to beekeepers. So it turned out that now once we have started doing this training and supplying to them this modern equipment, the quality of honey was improved in huge amount. Because once we give them training, we give them modern equipment, there is no way that we are going to get a bad honey from them. They know how to operate everything. So the quality of honey was very good. And I made my first export to Japan. And they really liked the honey. So since 2020, that has been my journey of training people, supplying modern equipment, and we are going back to them. We are purchasing all the honey that they've been produced, and we send it to the market. So that's our journey about honey.
That's really nice. You have actually found out the weakness and then you started working out to strengthen the process. So, what defines pure honey here?
Here in Tanzania, a pure honey is a honey which is not contaminated by any impurities such as chemicals or dirties, but also it's not exposed to too much heat. But also the honey that is being harvested in a right time. That's what we call a pure honey. Once you deviate from those three areas that have been mentioned here, your honey is not pure. So once you expose your honey to too much heat, once you heat your honey, you have distorted the quality. Once you contaminated your honey with either chemicals or whatever, your honey is not pure. In previous days, over 90% of honeys that was bad, where the quality was being distorted during harvesting period. That's the first point where the quality of honey is destroyed. Because here we have mosquito nets which prevent humans from getting mosquito bites. We all know that those nets has got some chemicals there, right? But so some of our beekeepers were using those nets during a refining process. But also they were using large fire, bush fire, during harvesting. So that bush fire tended to give out smoke, large amount of smoke. And this smoke directly goes to the hives. So you find out that your honey has got a large amount of smoke in it, of which the quality will not be the same. So by giving them a bee smoker, a bee smoker is an instrument which used to provide a little amount of smoke, which we just distorts the communication there between queen bee and the workers bee, just for you to harvest the honey safely. It's special strainer, special instrument which used to filter the honey. Apart from using those mosquito nets, That means you have preserved the quality of the honey. For those to use a special tank, preheating tank which has thermoregulator, because the logic behind you need to have a thermoregulator to ensure that the temperature is not exceed 35 degrees of Celsius. So once they have those tools, ensure that the quality of honey is preserved as intended by bees. Because we have to understand that there's no way bees will produce bad honey. Once you have put your hives in a good location, the honey will always be good. But the problem comes from us humans during harvesting and during processing. That's where we distort the quality of honey. So by giving them those training and those instruments, they were being able now to preserve the quality of honey throughout the process. But not that. Also, I don't know in India, but here in Tanzania, we have yellow jerry cans, which is used to fill cooking oil. You see. So once it's used, so some beekeepers tend to wash it, then put the hand there. So we give them training. This is not good. The bucket or the jerry can that you put your hand must be new. It should not be used elsewhere. Then you wash, and then you put hand. This is not right. So right now they are going to buy a new jerry cans, white jerry cans or white bucket. So after harvesting, they put direct to the new jerry can or new bucket, then go to process. You see now the quality is being preserved as intended by you.
So honey, in the honey production process, can you explain the production process, how it starts? What kind of boxes or what kind of bees are there in Tanzania? How these bees are taken from wild and then bring them into boxes, and then the production process. Could you explain the production process?
Okay, that's very nice. Okay, globally we have 1,000 types of bees. 1,000 types of bees, because not all bees makes honey. There is other types of bees which are not making honey. So among those 1,000 types, we have about 40 types which are making honey. So we call them honey bees. So here in Africa, we have 3 types of honey bees. See, and collectively we call them African honey bees. So we have Apis mellifera litoria. We have Apis mellifera. I don't see scientific names; they're so difficult. We have Apis mellifera scrutelata, if I'm correct with the name. But also we have Apis mellifera mycotea, if I'm correct with the name. Or scientific name are so hard to pronounce. So this Apis mellifera litoria, this is a type of bees which are mainly found in coastal regions. We have Tanga, we have Dar es Salaam, Zanzibar. I'm sure you know the island called Zanzibar. So those type of bees you will find in those coastal regions area. But also we have other types of honeybees, which is Apis mellifera scrutelato. This scrutelato is found in inland. So I can say over 8% or more than 8%, these are type of bees which are mainly found here in Tanzania, because inland in Tanzania is huge compared to coastal region. But also we have these types of bees, which is called Apis mellifera monticola. This monticola is a name which means high altitude, such as mountains and stuff like that. So in those regions which is found in high altitude, you most likely come to find these types of bee, monticola, Apis mellifera monticola. So I will mainly talk about this Apis mellifera reto because they are huge, found in large different areas here in Tanzania. So characteristically, these types of bees, they are very hard working. They work very hard and they are aggressive in nature. You know, this is different compared to Western honeybees. You know, you can play with Western honeybees, but it's very difficult to play with African honeybee because they are aggressive in nature. But this aggressiveness tends to increase once they have filled the beehives. Once the beehive is full, the aggressiveness is increased more. So once I go to my apiary and find that, oh, these bees today, they are more aggressive, I know that it's a good sign because I'm sure in the hives, everything is good. So before doing inspection, I tend to have a pre-assumption everything is good there. So once I do inspection, I got my final answers. So those are some characteristics. But also, they tend to like to be more in a forest areas, place where large forest. That's where they perform well. So it's not appropriate to put this type of honeybees in a place where you have few bee forage. They like to be in a place where there is enough bee forage. So this place is in thick forest. I hope you understand thick forest. So, and that's why over 90% of beekeeping here in Tanzania is being performed in area with thick forest because that's a place where this type of honeybees are performing well. So once you have put your hives in your apiary, maybe you come to me, you purchase your hives, then you go to put in your apiary. The first step is for you to get the colony. Colony is a group of bees collectively. This is called queen bee, drone bee, and workers bee. So once you get your colony, and there's a way on how we use to get this colony. We normally use beeswax. You know, beeswax has a strong, I don't know, I can say strong smell which attract bees. So if your beehives is good, this workers bee will come, inspect your hives. If they find your hive is good, they'll go back and give some information to the remaining colony. Hey, we have found a place which is more better to where we are right now. So we need to move to this good place. So once this colony moves from the forest or whatever the place to your beehives, one thing they do, they will start to inspect your hives. If there is some loose wood, maybe there is space between woods and stuff like that, they will start to fill that space with bee glue, or we call propolis. Propolis is a bee glue. So once they fill those every space, they immediately start to making the honey. So these workers bee go to find the forages, come to the hives, making the honey, ensure there is optimal temperature within the hives. That's the issue because they make the honey as their stock of the food during the winter season. So you as a beekeepers, you have to monitor all this process, starting when did this colony arrive to my beehives? How does this colony behave? Is it working hard or they are lazy? Because some colonies are lazy. And laziness of colony is called by the queen. If the queen bee is too much order, normally the whole colony will not perform well. But if you have a young queen bee, your bee colony will perform very well. So you have to monitor all those steps. After that, it depends on type of hives which you have. If you have these rank cross hives, beehives, I mention this name because rank cross hive is known globally. Langstroth hive. When you got this colony and they have filled all your
What is that hive?
Langstroth hive, Langstroth hive. So if you got this Langstroth hive and your colony is fill your 2 boxes very quickly, then you get a room to add another set box, 4th box, even 5th box. It depends on how your colony is performing. But also in Tanzania, we have other type of hives, which is called Tanzanian top bar hives. Tanzanian top bar hives. So this hives does not give you room to add box. Once it's full, it's full. You have to wait time for the harvest. Once you harvest, you have to wait for the next season, which is quite different from Langstroth hives. So when your hive is full, you have to wait for the appropriate time for the harvest, because if you harvest too early, your honey will not be good. Yeah, your honey will most likely undergo a fermentation process. So your honey will not be good in the market. So you have to ensure that your honey is ready for the harvest, then you do the harvest. So it's a series of frequent inspection, which gives you a proper answer what to do next. So you have to perform at least every 2 weeks, you have to go to inspect your hives. If you are too busy, at least 1 time per every month, you have to go and inspect your hives. So once you know that your hives now, your honey is ready for harvesting, you have to ensure you have proper tools for harvesting. You need to have hive tools. Hive tools, it helps you to move with those frames, because they will be sticking very hard. So you cannot move those frames with your hands. So you need something which can help to move those frames. But also you have to protect yourself with protective gear. Also, you need to have clean buckets. As I said earlier, a new bucket, not just a clean bucket. The bucket should be new buckets. You need to have a bee smoker. If your harvesting is done during daytime, it's okay. If you're done during nighttime, you need to have a torch. Also, you need to have a first aid kit, because anything can happen. Maybe bees may attack you, so you need to have at least some medicine for emergency. Also, important tools is the bee brush. This bee brush helps to remove bees without hurting them. Because if you remove bees by your hand, it's most likely you are going to kill a lot of bees, because your hand is hard. So you are just pressing those bees, so you are killing them. So you need a brush. This brush is smoothly removing them from frames. Then you are taking your honey, and you do not have to take all the honey in the hives. Because the purpose of bees to making the honey is just a food stock for them during a winter period. So you have to leave a little for them. And here in Tanzania, we leave 1/3 of the total hives. 1/3 of the total hives for just as food for the bees. So one of the challenge, people initially were harvesting all the honey. So once maybe your hives has got maybe 15 frames, they harvest all 15 frames, which is not right. So you have to leave 1/3, as you said, 1/3, whatever it is in the beehives. So this one will ensure sustainability, and it will not make your bees to fly away. Because once you harvest all the honey, your bees will abscond. So every time you attract new bees, once you harvest, bees will fly away. So this is not sustainable. You have to do it in a sustainable way to ensure that you have these bees for a long period of time. So those are some of the techniques that is used for beekeepers. Once beekeepers have put their honey in the new bucket, I can say they are processing end there. That's where a bulk buyer come in and going and purchasing all the honey in the packets. So we are going back to them, we are purchasing whatever that they have been putting in the bucket. So we are doing a pre-testing in the apiary, then we purchasing the honey, we move the honey to our processing factory. So once the honey is moving here, once the honey is moving in our processing factory, the first step is we have to do again a testing. Because anything can happen during transportation of the honey from beekeepers to our processing factory. So we have to redo testing again. Once we find everything is good, now we measure the weight. Now the honey goes to the first stage here, which is pressing. Pressing the honey, it means to remove the honey from the honeycombs, because honey is being harvested in honeycombs. So we have a machine which is doing pressing. So this pressing, it will leave you with the honey and with the residue after doing this pressing. So this residue, we'll back use it to making a beeswax. Residue which is found after pressing those honeycombs. So this honey, it will move to the next stage, which is filtration. We have to refine it to make it very, 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 very clear with no any impurity in it. So we refine it with our double sieve and conical sieve. These are types of sieve which we normally use here, and it ensures that your honey will remain with no any unintended particle. So your honey will be clean. After we doing filtration, we put it in our settling tank. We have to let the honey settle for more than 24 hours. Because every honey, once it settles, it makes a top layer. So we don't want this top layer to go to the market. So we have to let it settle, deal with the top layer in the factory, then continue with the filling process, packaging process. So it depends on the business model. If you are going to do also a bulk selling, all you just need is just a new bucket. You are filling your bucket or drums, filling the drums, then go to the market. If you are selling in small bottles also, that's another series of activities starting there. Different one. Yeah. So you have to fill the bottles, you have to put all those batch numbers and labels, doing label, put honey in cartons, then go to the market. So this is a whole value chain of how honey moves from beehives up to the bottles.
So what kind of testing is done?
During testing of the honey in the apiaries, we normally look for the following. If the honey was harvested in an appropriate time, because we will not see queen eggs in the honeycombs. We know that this honey was ready to be harvested. That's the first thing. But also we are measuring the moisture content of the honey. Based on our authority, Bureau standard of authority in Tanzania, the moisture content should range from 16 up to 20. So we have to ensure that the honey that we are buying, it falls on that range, 16 up to 20. But also we are measuring other issues, like, I don't know how to put it, because I'm buying the honey which are in comb, I'm buying honeycombs. So at least I need to know how much honey is inside these honeycombs. Because I can just buy honeycombs which just have a little amount of honey, which will be lost to me. So I have to ensure that inside the honeycombs there is enough honey. Once I'm going to do pressing, I'll get enough honey. So those are some of the issues that we are looking. But also we are testing for the smell. There is, I don't know, is aroma a meaning of for smell? So there is honey aroma.
Yes.
So if you are using modern techniques, will not sense smell of smoke or other issue. We will get a real smell of honey. That's also other issue that we are testing from there. So those are things that we are normally testing there. So just to ensure that the honey that we are purchasing, it meets our quality standard, but also not also our quality standard, but it meets national authority of quality standards, but also it meets international standard, because we will also going to export this honey. So we need to ensure the quality from the first stage. So those are some of the issues that we are looking at.
And how often this is harvested in an year? How many times?
So it depends on geographical location. Here in Tanzania, there is place where you can harvest 3 times a year, but the remaining parts you just harvest 2 times a year. But what gives you a clue to harvest 3 times a year, 2 times a year, or 1 times a year? It's your beekeeping behavior. If you care your apiary, you care your bees, you will harvest more. If you just put the hives and you ignore it in the forest, you can just harvest 1 times a year. So you have to care, you have to do a frequent inspection to see if anything is wrong, you have to fix it, and you will harvest 2 times or 3 times a year.
Do the bees they fly away? Like, what are the other challenges for the life of bees there?
Beekeeping still has got some challenges, of course. One of it is losing the bees colony. You might have 100 beehives, but you find someday about 20 colonies have flied away. So you have just remaining with maybe 8 colonies. So, as I said earlier, your beekeeping behavior will affect your sustainability of your project. That's the number 1 rule. Once you care for your bees, bees will not leave you, because bees will leave you if they find somewhere better compared to where they are. They will leave you. If they find somewhere there is more food compared to where they are, they will automatically leave you. Go to where there is enough food. See? So you have to make sure that you place your hives in a place where there is enough bee forage. That's the first step. But also you have to make sure in your forest there is different types of plants. Here in Tanzania we have certain plant species which produce flowers even during this summer period. So this gives you an assurance that your bees will get bee forage throughout a year. That's the first issue. So once they have assurance of getting food throughout a year, they will not leave you. But vice versa to that, you get a challenge of bee absconding from your apiary. So it's still a challenge. Some of the beekeepers are complaining that the bees are absconding. But once you go in there doing some inspection, where there was a loophole, so we teach them so that next time cannot happen again. That's the number 1 challenge. But also we've got another challenge. Apart from this bee absconding, the other challenge is I can say production efficiency of bee colonies. Sometimes you find out you have 100 beehives with 100 colonies, but you find that one beehive gives you a certain amount of honey, other gives you much less, a certain amount of honey. But bear in mind, these hives are in one place. They share the bee forage, they share all the available resources, but there's difference in production. So this one is a technical problem, it's a scientific problem. As I said earlier, is that once you have got a young queen bee, your beehives will fill up very fast because those worker bees will work very fast. So the technique behind it, we have to know the life, we have to know the age of our queen bee, which is becoming quite difficult unless you have done the project for a long period of time. You can know maybe hive number one, this queen bee now has 3 years. So I have to look for a way to introduce new queen bee to this colony. So once you manage that, you will ensure a more amount of honey will be produced. That's the second challenge, which is a scientific technical challenge. That's we are trying to look for a way of how we can solve the numbers of many beekeepers. But the first challenge is I can say it's a beekeeping behavior problem. Once you have bad beekeeping behavior, your bees will abscond. So I'm confident to say that we don't have much cases of bees going to the, maybe to the, I can say bees going to the farmers, which is being maybe sprayed some medicine in their crops, something like that. That is not a huge challenge because I can say, as I said, 90% of beekeeping is done in thick forest. There in thick forest, nothing human activity is going on. So your bees are in safe place. Chance of them getting contamination from around area is very rare. So that's not a challenge here in Tanzania because we have enough forest
Yeah.
that can make them bees not getting contamination. So those are the main challenge. We are trying so hard to minimize, if not to remove at all, those challenges.
Do they die? The bees? Do the bees get infections?
Yes, bees is a living things. So any living things tend to get some infection. Yeah, but numbers of bees being infected in Africa is very low compared to the Western area. As I said, compared to a place where we put our hives, we put them in a virgin area, so the chance of infection is very low. But sometimes infection do happens. So we have some ways of treating this infection, giving them medicine, but also we can remove all the colony, getting the new fresh colony. So these are some of the techniques that we
Yeah,
use. Yeah.
that's better.
Yeah, but also I agree with you. Bees do get infection, but also we don't have to forget that lifetime of bees or life cycle of workers bee is not than 19 days. So it's less than 19 days. The eventually dies and it will be replaced with other workers bees. So it's normal to find dead bees on your around apiary. So it's normal.
So the seasonal changes and taste. What about the taste differences with the seasons?
Honey harvested in different seasons tend to differ in taste and also in color, sometimes even in texture. So you might find that the same apiary gave you dark amber honey maybe in June, but in October it tend to give you maybe golden honey. So the logic behind it depends on what types of flowers were available at that particular time. because we put our hives in thick forests, which comprise more than one types of trees. So some trees tend to give out their flowers during certain period of years. Some trees give out their flower during certain period of years. So it depends on you, what types of flower do these bees going to get their forage. That will affect the color of the honey, taste of the honey, and texture of the honey.
And what happens during the season when there are no flowers, like fall season?
That's not a challenge here in Tanzania, but I can say for anyone who is doing a modern beekeeping should consider performing a bee feeding. But the truth is, our beekeepers do not. Many of our beekeepers still do not do bee feeding because we are blessed with so many forests. So it's quite difficult to find out there is no flower at all. But you find that the amount of flower is declining, but not no flower at all. No, that's different. But I always say to people that you have to consider performing bee feeding, because bee feeding, apart from giving your, apart from ensuring that your bees will not abscond you, but to give them more energy and to increase their production efficiency. So once you want to harvest more, you have to ensure that you perform bee feeding. But in Tanzania, it's not widely performed, but we are getting there. We are getting there. Yes.
And what is the demand for honey nowadays? Who are the potential buyers? Who are the customers for honey in Africa, in Tanzania?
The big buyer in Tanzania are food companies which use honey in their as ingredients. They replace sugar and they put honey. So food company are the biggest buyer of honey in Tanzania. But also we have got retail shop, wholesale shop, supermarkets, hotels, farmers. All those type of people are buying honey. But also we have exporters. So even you can come in Tanzania, collect some tons, maybe 40 tons of honey, going to India, sell. So we have those type of buyers here in Tanzania. And the one thing I can say, the demand is high compared to our supply. That's why during the start of our podcast conversation, I said there is no way if you have a good honey and you will miss a customer. Customer will find you wherever you are if you have good honey, because the
Yes.
demand of honey is big compared to our supply.
And what is the cost of honey per kilogram?
Okay, the cost varies, but the range here starting from Tanzanian shillings 9,000 up to Tanzanian shillings 17,000 per 1 kg. From 9,000 up to 17,000.
So, in the modern ways of beekeeping, I think you must have already gone through this process. People are using honeycomb sheets inside the honey boxes, wax sheets for honeybees to come and then store their honey. Can it be claimed as natural honey or organic honey?
So sorry if I didn't get you well. It means that is there any chance this beeswax that is put in house box to destroy the quality of the honey?
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's a good question. That's a very good question. Beeswax. If you are beeswax that you are using has no chemical contamination, it will automatically not destroy the quality of the honey. That's the number one reason. But also type of wood that you are using to construct your beehive. is also a point of consideration, because there is other type of trees which are poisons. We know that there is different types of trees, different types of woods. So here in Tanzania, we normally use cypress wood. Cypress wood is a soft wood which has no any effect to the food in it, of which now we are talking the honey, and it will give you a long durability. Once you make the hives with this cypress wood, it will give a durability of more than 10 years.
Cypress wood.
Yeah, cypress wood. We mainly use cypress wood, but also you can use other type of woods, it depending on your preference. But we encourage to use soft wood, not hard wood, because soft wood, they are lighter in weight. So once you hang your hives in trees, it will ensure that your hives will still remain there in trees. If you use hardwood, your hives might fall down very easy because of heaviness. We have a wax foundation sheet that we are using. So we are putting this wax foundation sheet in each frames inside the beehives. But we don't use this plastic wax foundation sheet that is being exported. No. We make our wax foundation sheet from a real beeswax. We make from a real beeswax by using that special machine for making those wax sheet.
So if there are suddenly all the bees in the world are just vanished, what happens?
We are going to die. We will not survive, because I know maybe I'm a beekeeper, I started my apiary to get some money from honey, but it has more effect on more than that. These bees are going to perform a pollination. Pollination, you know that pollination is going to increase food quantity and food quality. That's why I always tell people, when you are doing a commercial farming project, you have to consider a beekeeping project nearby your commercial farming project, because these bees will going to increase your food quantity and quality. So if you have an avocado farms, for example, so maybe your yield, normally maybe each avocado tend to weigh maybe a half a kg. Once you are integrating your avocado farms with beekeeping, your avocado will most likely going to weigh more than 700 grams, from 500 grams up to 700 grams. But not just quantity, but also the quality will improve more. So bees are crucial for life in the earth. When all bees collapse, we will not survive for a long period of time. We are going to run out of food. Once we run out of food, we are going to die. There is no way we can survive on that.
Let's talk more about Tanzania now. Please tell me about your country, and then what was the kind of development, and what is the religion you used to practice in that time, and then what is the religion now is practiced. What are the cultural changes that occurred over a period of time here?
Okay. So before answering your question, I want to give you an invitation. You need to come to Tanzania. Also, I can show you the real life of African beekeepers, how they've been involved from traditional ways to modern ways. So you can come also in our factory to see how we process our honey, how we handle each and every step, how we deal with customer, and all those kind of stuff. So I'm giving you an invitation to Tanzania to see beekeeping sector at large picture. So back into your question, you know, Tanzania, in Africa right now, Tanzania is one of the countries which is performing very well in football. So we have a lot of footballers which are coming from other countries and they are playing here in Tanzania. Once their contract is over, these footballers, they like to remain here. We have numbers of footballers from Ghana, from Nigeria. They don't have a team, but they're still living here in Tanzania. So I always ask myself why as these people don't want to leave the country. So I found out that the hospitality of many Tanzania is very good. I know it's difficult, but I can go to the neighborhood and say, hey, I don't have anything to eat for these 2 days. I will eat from neighbor. I don't have something like this. I'll get someone to hold my hand and help me. That's how we have been raised as Tanzanians. But also, we know how to care for each other, which I find it difficult in other countries. Whenever I travel, everyone is busy with his or her issues. But here, if you find somebody maybe got an accident, so no car will pass there. All of the people get out of the car, going to help until we are sure that these people have got the medical attention, then people will continue with their issue. So we have this tendency of care to each other. So we have been late to that because our former president brings the issue of socialism in the country. So it affects our way of responding to things, our ways of interacting to each other. So we are not a capitalist at all. We are a mixture of socialists and the capitalists. As you know, in a business, you have to be a capitalist. So we are a mixture of socialists and the capitalists. So this socialist, it affects our behavior in that way. So we care much about each other. That's how. So that's why those footballers, I'm just using them as an example. There is a lot of people who are still don't want to leave the country, apart from footballers. So they find difficult. Once they go playing football in other country, they don't get that attention. They don't get that hospitality that they have been getting here in Tanzania. So, and some of them get stressed and such kind of, once you get used to certain environment and you move to other area and you find everything different, it's so hard to find yourself again. So those are Tanzanians. But also, Tanzanians are hardworking, very, very hardworking. We work in every legal area. Here we have a lot of youth who are employed themselves in motorcycle business, pick, tuk, transportation, logistics. In fishing, because we have Indian Ocean, we have Lake Victoria, we have Lake Tanganyika, we have Lake Nyasa, we have minor lakes here in center of Tanzania, which I can't remember all the names. So this gives a room for also fishing opportunity. So there is large number of fishing opportunity which is going on here. So this fishing also provide thousands of employment to the youth within the country. But also tourism sector. We are blessed to have Mt Kilimanjaro. We have Serengeti National Park. We have Ngorongoro. We have Mikumi. So in those tourist area, there is thousands of Tanzanians which have got employment there, and we are trying so hard to preserve those areas because it's a natural gift from God. But also, in business-wise, there is a lot of business, and I can say here, apart from government, the second employer within the country is coming from private sector. So there is a large number of people, youth, which are being employed in private sector. That's why the government is always trying to regulate the policy to make the investment, to make the Tanzania as the investment hub of the East Africa, if not Africa at all. Because it's obvious, once you empower private sector, that means more people are going to get jobs because government cannot employ all people.
Yes.
This is common globally. So you have to employ more entrepreneurs, you have to employ more companies so that more people can get jobs there. So that's what is being done for this period of time. And the environment is getting better and better day to day. I can say I started my business with a little amount of capital. But I got support from government, got some loans with no interest, which boosts my working capital. So those are issue of supports that we are getting from government to support the private sector. So, but not to forget, our country now is led by a female president called Samia Suluhu Hassan. She is the only female president in Africa for now. Because we had one, I think, I don't remember if she was in Ethiopia or some kind of country there, but she's no longer in power now. So the only female president who is in power is her, Samia Suluhu Hassan. So you know there is this mother love to
Mother's love.
mother's love. So that's what we are enjoying right now. So if you are getting some distraction, you just find a way to get a message to this minister, say, hey, you know, mother would not allow this kind of thing to be done to her children. And you find that the way is open. So mother's love is all over Tanzania for now.
Who is the founder or the first president of Tanzania?
His name is called Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere. In Tanzania, we have different cultures because we have more than 400 tribes. So each tribe has got its culture. Here in Tanzania, despite of having different tribes, as I said, we have more than 400 tribes, but we are all connected with Swahili language. So once I go out of my room, I speak Swahili.
Swahili, yes.
I don't speak my vernacular language, which is from my tribe. I don't speak it in tribe once I'm in public. I can speak my vernacular language if I'm home with my relatives, because we are all from one tribe. But once I go out, I speak Swahili, which is a national language.
Does it have a script, Swahili? Like that, does Swahili has the literature?
Oh, okay. We are using the same alphabet from English language.
Acha, okay.
Yeah, 26 alphabet from A, B, C, D up to Z.
No, not
Yeah.
that. That Swahili has its own writing, because in
Yeah.
India,
Yeah.
I speak a language called Telugu,
Mm-hmm.
and the way I write is very different, not the English words.
Now I got you. Yes.
Uh,
So okay. Now I can answer well your question. So Swahili has got both. I can speak Swahili and I can write in Swahili. Yes. So it has both speaking and writing. So this one is one of the trick or the technique or strategy that was used by the founder of this country, Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere, He was a very, very charming president we had, very funny. Whenever I talk, people were feeling happy, were laughing, something like that. So he always speaking about this tribalism. He says that suppose you have this tribe, you are from this tribe, and you go out publicly speaking your vernacular language from that tribe. What do you want to prove? You are already from that tribe. When you go out, speak Swahili, interact with people from other tribes. So that was removing the boundary between tribes. So it makes us together as a nation. So that's why it's very difficult to find somebody speaking other different than Swahili when we are in public. So this it has helped us because compared to other neighboring countries, tribalism is still a problem. Our other neighboring country, I cannot mention the names, but you know the neighboring countries, some of them, tribalism is still a huge problem. Yeah, to the extent people from different tribes cannot work each other, cannot work together. So in Tanzania, we'll never find such kind of things. We are so well connected. That's the thing I'm proud about my country. So about religion, here we don't have so many religion. We just have Islamic religion and Christian religion. So there is sub-religion in Islamic and also in Christian compared to all over the world. But these two are the main big religion here. But also we have other religion, which are not big, but they are still here. We have this region, I don't know if I can remember its name. I forgot its name, but a lot of Rasta people. It's commonly in Jamaica, but also it's also found here in Tanzania. I don't remember its name. Once I remember, I'll text you the name. But also we have Buddha. I know you are very familiar with Buddha.
The Buddha, Lord Buddha.
Yes,
There is a
yes.
picture here.
Okay. Yeah. So I have a friend here who is from Buddha religion. He's Indian also. So Buddha uh, is also found here in Tanzania, but also I can say those are main religion found here. But within this mention, there is subcategory of other religion. Yeah.
And how was it in the past? What were your grandmother's stories?
Yeah, based on the stories we got from our elders, life was difficult at that time. Because I can give you an example. I told you from where I am, Dodoma to Kilimanjaro, it's about 400 kilometers. It's just a one-day journey. But during those days, you'll find someone is traveling 400 kilometers, maybe over 10 days, because the road were not good. The cars also buses were not good. So there was a lot of breakdowns throughout the journey. So you spend more than 10 days in a distance of 400 kilometers. So life was tough. Even in agriculture, everything were traditional. We didn't have tractors, we didn't have machinery for agriculture. So everything were done in traditional. We didn't have enough distribution of electricity. So life was tough. So those elders are saying, no, you guys, you nowadays generation, you are enjoying. You know, over 85% of my country has got electric supply. 85% of my country. So I can go to the village and I found there is electricity. But life was not like this in previous day. Electricity were only found in small portions of towns, just like that. Apart beyond that, there was no electricity, so life was hard. Life was hard. So things are keep improving. Right now, we are having standard gauge train, standard gauge railways, fast moving trains. So in this distance of 400 kilometers, I can just travel within 2.5 hours. I've already reached my destination. So we have buses, but also we have planes as a mode of transport within the country. At that time, there was no plane which can move you from one region to another. No, it was difficult, very, very difficult. But now things keep on improving. And I believe in 10 days, in 20 days to come, things will be much more better because things keep on improving day to day. Yes.
And what about food? What kind of crops are grown in your country? And what kind of food? What is the staple food? Regular food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh, that's a very good question. So Tanzania is being divided in 5 regions. Zone, not region, 5 zones. So each zone has got its particular types of crops which can be cultivated in that zone. So we have maize, we have rice, we have all these types of what do we call
Pulses.
cereal.
Yeah,
Uh,
cereals.
yeah, cereals. So we have sugar plantation, we have coconut trees, we have a lot, but it depends. Each type of crops will fall to one of these 5 zones. But our local foods here is called ugali.
Ugyari.
Ugali. So everywhere you go, people eat ugali. But also people eat rice, cooked rice, wali. We call it in Swahili wali. So it's accompanied with different types of maybe meat, fish, vegetables. It depends on your preference. But main foods are ugali and cooked rice. But also breakfast, people have got a variety of options they can use. We call chapati. Yeah, mandazi. So there's a lot of things that you can use for breakfast. And one thing for sure, I got a lot of friends who are coming from other countries. They really like the taste of food in Tanzania. Because you can find also ugali in maybe Kenya, Nairobi, as you said, you have a friend in Nairobi. But the taste of ugali from Nairobi or Kenya will be different from taste of ugali in Tanzania, depending on how it's been cooked. So the taste is different. So many people, when they come, they taste the food, they fall in love with food that we have here. So mainly is ugali, wali, and other types of food.
I enjoy learning about different countries and different languages. That is the reason
Okay.
why I asked. I mean,
Okay.
India is a very big country, multiple 26 different official languages and all that. But here, food habits change every 200 kilometers.
Oh.
Yeah, food habits change.
Okay.
We eat rice, but I am from South India. So actually, I am from the coastal of South India, coastal side of South India, which
Okay.
used to be part of Africa 50 million years ago.
Yeah, I understand. Okay.
So that African part just broken and then it turned and then it went to the
Yes.
Tibetan.
Yes,
That's
yes,
how.
I
So
understand. I understand.
Mm.
Okay.
So, this is it. Yeah, I have so many questions. Like, I want to understand about the past history of Tanzania, about the English or French people came into Tanzania, and then during those times, and how the time. But those we will do that particular discussion in a separate podcast one day.
Okay.
It's already
Yes.
1.5 hours and more.
Yes. Yes.
Thanks a
Yes.
lot
Yes.
for the invitation, and
Okay.
I will definitely come very soon to Tanzania,
Okay.
and I will climb Kilimanjaro.
Okay. No problem. First of all, I thank for giving chance talking about Tanzania, talking about beekeeping sector. I hope that we'll get to meet someday once you visit. I can even come to pick you at the airport, taking you even to Kilimanjaro, also taking you here in Dodoma. Once the timetable is good, I can be with you.
I have a
You,
couple of more questions.
yes,
First thing about safety in in this country. If a woman traveler, solo girl, or a woman who wants to come to Tanzania, is it safe?
yes, it's very safe. There are a lot of tourists who are coming it as solo, including both men and female, and they are living it happily. All you have to do, you have to plan your journey. If you are coming to Tanzania, you have to know once you land in the airport where I have to go. Once you have the name where you go, transport is available. And this tax driver or whatever transport you're taking, actually they will treat you with good behavior. There is no case of someone, a tourist or someone foreigner from other country being mistreated here. No, no, no. I've never had such kind of cases.
And are you supplying honey everywhere in your country? How to buy the honey from Africa?
Yes, we are supplying honey locally, but also we are exporting the honey. We are exporting the honey to China, we are exporting the honey to Japan, and we are about to start exporting the honey to USA.
How profitable is this business?
It's very profitable. I cannot mention the figures.
Numbers.
I cannot mention the numbers, but it's very profitable depending on the model on how you are doing your business. Once you bring the quality honey to the market, if your honey has got good quality, the buyer will be willing to pay to you next time, even on the double the price.
Yeah.
So the trick based on quality. If you have got good quality, you will get a repetitive customers. Customer will get back to you, purchasing other order. That's how we keep growing day to day.
And I have many questions, but we will save those questions for the next podcast. For
Okay, thank
now,
you so much.
thanks a lot for taking time and then explaining all my questions.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. You are all welcome in Tanzania.
As we wrap this journey through the fields and forests of Tanzania, from the golden harvest to the challenges faced by beekeepers like Mr. Goodluck Kapinga, these stories reflect the resilience and beauty of this land. Thank you for joining me on Stories with Venki. Keep learning, keep exploring, and remember, sometimes the smallest creatures teach us the biggest things. Until next time, stay inspired and stay curious.